Now, you could just go to DeFi Llama, click on Solana, and just look at the DeFi protocols that they have here. However, it's not comprehensive. They don't have everything there because they have to wait for someone else to go ahead and manually list it. And so I've worked together with a couple people in order to actually aggregate most of the possible airdrop candidates on Solana. So what we're looking for is that they're live on mainnet, so you can actually go ahead and use them with real money, and they don't currently have a token right now. For example, on DeFi Llama, you can go ahead and check out all of these protocols. The ones that have something with basically the brackets and a ticker symbol there, they already have a token. So if you're airdrop hunting, then don't even bother taking a look at them. But just a couple of disclaimers out of the way first. Not everything here that I'm going to show you today is guaranteed to airdrop tokens, and I'm going to show you most of the possible candidates, but I will leave a more comprehensive list in the description down below. I'm going to blow through a couple of these, and I'm not going to fully show you how to use each of these protocols. I might just show you the name and explain a little bit more about it. So just remember that none of this is financial advice, and that Solana is quite cheap, and so it's probably worth your time to go ahead and actually use all of these protocols, because it's only going to cost you, maybe a couple of bucks at most if you go through all of these to actually go ahead and try them all. And the transaction fees are so cheap on Solana, it's really going to cost you no money at all. And I think it actually is good for you to go ahead and do this, because this really builds up your knowledge of the DeFi ecosystem. I mean, you can watch videos and you can read, Twitter as much as you want, but actually doing and using all of these DeFi protocols is the best education you can possibly have. And so let's get into this video. And the first protocol I wanted to take a look at is Solens. So Solens is a NFT market aggregator. So you can trade NFTs on Magic Art and Solana Art directly through Solens. So if you wanted to find out what the best price to buy a degen ape is, you can just click on here, search degen ape, and then you can search across Magic Eden and Solana Art. Now the next protocol is Everland Finance. So Everland Finance is a yield aggregator and a loan aggregator. So basically what you can do, if you click on launch app, it will take you to a page, if you just acknowledge all of this stuff, where you can deposit any of your assets here, and then it will shift your assets from different vaults in order to get you the best APY. So it's built on top of protocols like Apricot Finance, Solend, and so on and so forth, and it will just shift your deposits from each vault in order to get you the best yields. So you can see here the different APYs that you can get, like Radium's paying fairly decently, USDC, so on and so forth. And so this is more for the lazy yield farmer, and I'll leave a link in the description down below if you want to use any of these protocols. The next protocol we're going to talk about is Bridge Split. So Bridge Split allows you to trade tokens of NFTs as well as get yields upon them. Now the next protocol I wanted to talk about is Otter Cash. So Otter Cash is basically Tornado Cash but on Solana. Now there are a couple of competitors looking to do this, but Otter Cash is the first, I think, that is actually live to mainnet. So what you do, you can deposit Sol, and you can withdraw it to a different wallet later on. Now the next protocol I want to take a look at is Coherence Finance. So this is actually really cool. I've seen a number of protocols looking to do what they're doing, but Coherence is the first one to actually ship, which is awesome. So Coherence Finance allows you to create your own ETFs. So you could make a Solana DEX index, Crypto 50, Metaverse index, so on and so forth. And then whenever you make your index, you can put it on the marketplace. And then if people want to use your index, they pay like a small fee to you as well. And so this is really cool. And I'm probably going to consider making my own one in the future. As you can see here, the assets under management are quite low for right now. The highest one, I think, was it $75, and the rest of them haven't got that much. But yeah, this is something that you should definitely consider doing as well. Just making your own ETF is quite fun, and you can mess around with it and see what might be the best possible combination and so on and so forth. And the next project I wanted to talk about is Wormhole. So Wormhole is a token bridge as well as an NFT bridge as well. So you can bridge between all of these different chains. I've used it a couple times before, and it's pretty decent. Now the next project I wanted to talk about is Zeta Market. So This is one thing that I should have brought up earlier, but I'll bring it up now. You won't be able to use all of these protocols if you are, like, say, from the US, because the US restrict a lot of their users. And so you might need a VPN to access some of these, but not all of them. But you just basically agree to all of these things. So you can trade options on Solana, as well as trading dated futures, if that's something that you're interested in doing. Now, the next one I wanted to talk about is Jupiter Aggregator, and probably the most promising one, because I know that, like, 1inch did a token drop, Paraswap did a token drop, and I think it's likely that Jupiter Aggregator is likely to do one as well. So Jupiter Aggregator is an DEX aggregator here on Solana, and it's probably the best place to trade in terms of, if you want to make a trade, don't go anywhere else. You're, like, basically wasting your time if you go anywhere else other than Jupiter, because Jupiter is built on top of all of the other decentralized exchanges, and it gives you the best price for your token swap. So you can trade basically anything if you want to, right? Here, but there is one concern that I have, is that the Jupiter Aggregator team are an offshoot of the Mercurial Finance team, and so if they do decide to drop a token, they might not drop it to previous users, they might drop it to Mercurial Finance stakers, potentially. I mean, that's the word on the street that I've heard. I don't have any secret alpha in sort of that sense. I haven't spoken to the Jupiter Aggregator team, so just keep that in mind. Now, the next project I wanted to talk about is francium. So francium is a leveraged yield farming platform. We've seen Tulip drop their own token, so I think francium will drop a token in the future as well. And so you can do leveraged yield farming on various different pairs, and you can get, fairly decent yield. Not that this is something that you want to do, because, we're in a bear market right now and you might get wrecked doing this, but you can definitely give this a try if you want to. And they also have delta neutral yield farming strategies that you can try out as well. Another really good part of francium is their lending platform. So if I click on lend here, you can see the different lending pools. So you can deposit your assets here, and then they get loaned out to francium leveraged yield farmers, and that's how you earn your yield. Currently 22% APY on Sol. By the time you watch this, it will be different, but if you look on the 14-day average APYs, you can see what's paying out fairly decently. GST is paying out a lot, 28% on GMT, Sol 17%, and USDC is paying out a decent amount as well. So definitely go ahead and check out francium. This is one of the oldest projects on Solana as well, and I think it's almost inevitable that they're going to do an airdrop. Now let's take a look at atrixfinance. So atrixfinance is another DEX here on Solana. And so, you can do swaps between various different tokens. This is also built on top of Serum as well. And so you are trading through Serum markets if you are actually trading on top of atrixfinance. But it just makes it easier because, you're doing an AMM swap versus trading on the order book, which I prefer trading on an AMM versus an order book personally. The next project I wanted to talk about is deltaone. So deltaone essentially just builds on top of francium and Tulip, I think, to give you delta neutral yield farming strategies. So you can do pseudo delta neutral yield farming like Ray USDC, Sol USDC, Stars USDC, Ratio USDC. The current one that's paying out the most is a Sol USDC, which is 253% APY. Pseudo delta neutral effectively allows you to get high stablecoin yields. It's not 100% perfect, and given the fact that we're in a bear market, you are more liable to get liquidated, so obviously keep that in mind as well. You also have these no impermanent loss vaults here, so effectively what you can do, you can lend out your assets to the farmers of deltaone, and that's how you can get yield. So it's similar to francium's lend page here as well. So fairly decent yields here on Ray, on Sol, on Stars, and Ratio. Now the next protocol I wanted to take a look at is Quarry. So Quarry just allows you to take your Saber LP tokens here, and you can stake them, and then you can start earning yield. Now the next protocol I wanted to take a look at is Swim. So Swim just allows you to bridge your tokens from chain to chain whilst also doing a swap. So for example, you could take your USDC on Solana and then convert it to BUSD on BNB, or USDC on Ethereum, and so on and so forth. And you can also just do the swap the other way around as well. Now, the next protocol I wanted to take a look at is Juiced Finance. So Juiced Finance builds on top of Mango Markets, and effectively this just allows you to get access to basis trading yields. Now, I've made many videos on my channel before talking about basis trading, but effectively what happens is that you deposit stable coins into this vault. They take those stable coins and then long, say, Bitcoin, and then short an equivalent amount on spot, and basically you're able to extract the yield there. And it's currently paying out a decent rate, 47.67% on the Sol Vault, and 20% on the Bitcoin Vault. So they have confirmed that they're going to do a token for juiced finance, so definitely keep that in mind. Now, the next protocol I wanted to take a look at is Friction. So Friction Finance, they give you access to structured product vaults, and there are various different ones that you have access to. So you have vaults that allow you to deposit your assets, and then they sell covered calls against it, and that can earn you yield. So various different assets here, you know, Avalanche, Bitcoin, Sol, FTT, Saber, and so on and so forth. So you can get decent yields there. You can also deposit your stablecoins into their put selling vaults and get decent yields too. They also have a crab strategy that enables you to earn yield as the markets go sideways. And then the basis yield vault, which is really cool. Basically, it just gives you access to basis trading, and it's fairly similar to what Juiced Finance has, but the yield appears to be a little bit lower here. Now, the next protocol I wanted to talk about is Katana. So Katana is very similar to Friction Finance. So you can deposit your assets here into these vaults. They sell a covered call against it, and the premiums generated from selling that covered call are then distributed to stakers within that vault. And, you know, once a week you're able to deposit and take out your assets, as well as the fact that they do put selling as well. So if you want to get yields upon your stable assets, you can go ahead and use Katana. Now, the next protocol I wanted to talk about is ZeroOne. So ZeroOne is a perpetual futures DEX, but they're a little bit more unique than that. They also have power perpetuals as well. So power perpetuals effectively just give you access to a product that trades similarly to you, say, like leveraging long Solana. You might pay a little bit more in funding rates. However, you don't actually get the risk of liquidation. They're really good in the business development, in the sense that like their Discord has good vibes, and they do actually add a lot of markets fairly quickly. So definitely go ahead and check out this DEX. Now, the next protocol I want to take a look at is Goblin Gold. So I've covered yield aggregators earlier on in this video, and that's essentially what they are. So you can deposit your assets into Goblin Gold, and then they take those assets and shift them from different vaults in Solana in order to get you the, you know, highest yield. So it's built on top of, you know, Solend, Francium, Tulip, Apricot Finance, so on and so forth, and they just shift assets from place to place in order to get you the best yield. So again, this is better for the lazy yield farmer. The last project I wanted to take a look at for today is Soda Protocol. So Soda is another money market here on Solana, but they also allow you to do leverage trading as well. And if you think about it, this is effectively what Mango Markets does, because they allow you to leverage trade, and they also allow you to lend and borrow on their platform as well. So I thought that was kind of funny, but they will be doing a token here. If you click on this Soda token part, they say Soda token is the only equity credential of Soda Protocol, and so they are looking to do a token soon. And so how are they going to get this token into the hands of people? Likely an airdrop for early users. So definitely go ahead and check out Soda Protocol. So that was it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like if there were any protocols here that you've never heard of before, and also leave a comment down below in the future if you've received an airdrop from using any of these projects. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and make sure to subscribe for more videos like this one.